I'm
Wait,
told it's
uploading.
starting.
Yeah, I have a button that says
it's like
end
already
recording.
starting
So
uploading. You have a button that says end recording?
I don't know if I can click it. I'm not
Oh,
going to
no.
try.
Don't
I don't have
try.
that
Yeah,
power.
Yeah. Oh,
the
wow.
ability. Yeah. Oh,
Spousal
wow.
privilege.
Hi. We're opening arguments. How's it going, everybody? This is our first what Matt brilliantly named Vapid Response Wednesday. So excited to announce this. I'm Thomas. That's Lydia. That's Matt. We're doing this format where we're all thirds of a screen. With two people, it blasts in your face so much that it's scary. But with three, I think it looks okay. I think
it's
it
a
looks
party.
Okay,
scary.
So let's
It's a party.
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
All right.
Lydia.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll call on you. I got to realize.
I know. Yeah. Roll call.
Sound off.
I am doing really well. I'm really excited to step into kind of this idea, this new format we've been talking about. Can't wait to hear more of what you're thinking, Thomas, on this. And also thank you guys for having me, involved in the show in this way. I'm really looking forward to it and getting some FaceTime too with both of you all. So I'm good.
Yeah. Matt, how are you doing?
Great. I'm on vacation on Black Island, Rhode Island, one of the best places on earth. And I just can't wait to talk about Alan Dershowitz.
Yeah. So this is going to be so much fun. I'm going to do just a little bit of explaining, but I don't want to bog down. We've been wanting to do a couple things here at Opening Arguments. We've been wanting to change stuff up. We've been wanting to find a way to do more video. And we've also been wanting to find a way to have me not die. And basically, the editing is killer. The workload is killer. And we're doing some things going forward to try to reduce that. And one of them is we're going to start doing this live video for Wednesdays called Vapid Response. And it won't be edited. That way, that saves so much work for me. And it also will be a lot of fun. It'll be a loose, fun hang. For now, we're recording these on our own. Someday, I had the idea, I'm running this past you guys right now, here and now.
Production meeting right now?
I had the idea that we could open it up to like top patrons. Like they could come hang.
Ooh.
For the live video.
Okay, I love that.
But because like our thinking was we're going to go through stuff. We didn't want to make it live for everybody because we don't want the chat like this format isn't like, we want to focus on what we're covering. So we were worried about like being distracted by the chat and all that. And that's more of a Q&A thing. But I think we might, maybe top patrons could be a way to go.
I mean, they're the best friends of the show, right? Like they deserve to be in the room with us.
And if they say something while we're recording, I want to know.
Always happy to hear from them.
Exactly.
That's right.
So this format will be, well, Matt, why don't you tell us what you had in mind for this format, this Wednesday format going forward?
Yeah, well, we usually have Rapid Response Friday where we respond to whatever's going on in the news, try to make sure that you understand the law in the news. But I've been thinking for a while, just in our times, the way things are going, it's time to go on the offensive. So I want to pick out the worst stuff and we can just read it and respond to the very stupidest things we can find that our enemies are saying. And we have many. So let's make some more too. Why not?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. There's endless amounts of dumb. We have so much stuff planned. It's already too much. But going forward too, one thing that I really want to do that, Matt, I think you're on the same page, is the quality of thought among the opinion writers of even not just the shitty papers like the Wall Street Journal that we're going to use today, even the New York Times.
Oh, sure.
I mean, just today we're putting out on Where There's Woke, very late, unfortunately, we're putting out our, we did 2 episodes on Pride and on the New York Times piece that they allowed. What's his name again, hon? This is what we have to do live. Andrew Sullivan.
Somebody.
That's it.
Sullivan, yeah.
To put out in their front page, massive cover of the opinion section. And it's just the most dog shit, lazy thinking. Like it's the kind of thing where I never would have dreamed as a college student or whatever, as an aspiring anything, that level of just truly vapid bullshit could get you on the New York Times. Like it's sad. And that's part of what we want to take on. I'm really excited. So I think I've said enough. Should we get to our first thing, or is there anything I forgot?
No. We're going to kick it off with show favorite Alan Dershowitz, one of our favorite enemies of the show. So very timely to our episode last Friday when we talked about all the legal issues around Jeffrey Epstein. I guess Dersh was listening in and decided to provide his perspective on what's going on with the Epstein case right now. And of course, as we're recording this, it is constantly in the news every day. Donald Trump can't get away from it. And Alan Dershowitz can't get away from it because, of course, as you might remember, he's wrapped up in some of this. We'll talk about that. So this is Alan Dershowitz doing what he does best and just talking, just defending himself.
Yeah, this shall I pull it up and we can look at it? So this is he wrote, okay, the inside scoop on Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, good. The inside. Oh, is this a confession? Is this a signed confession? Finally.
Sadly, no.
I've been waiting for that.
Yeah, this title is doing a lot of work. It is incredibly misleading, honestly.
Yeah, I will remind you before we get started that attorney-client privilege does survive death. So if you had the inside scoop, he couldn't give us to us anyway. Like, this is such a misleading angle.
It does survive death. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Forever.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, the subtitle is, I was his lawyer. I know things that he can't disclose, right? Or that the court can't disclose. Well, so what? You're not going to tell us, obviously. So
why are you writing this?
I know things that court
who cares?
orders won't allow me to disclose. Oh, I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
why
a tool
is the
to
Wall
say,
Street
look,
Journal?
hey, it's actually not that bad. I can't tell you.
Right. Trust me, bro.
Yeah. But the court ordered me. They're like, hey, Dershowitz, don't you tell everybody how not that bad this was. And I'm like, oh, dang. But trust me, it wasn't that bad.
You better not put this in the Wall Street Journal, Alan Dershowitz.
Oh, boy. Because if
worry.
he's telling us he can't tell us, then that means the only message you're trying to get across with that is, like, I know, like, just trust me, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's literally what it is.
And there's so much misdirection going on here. We'll have to break it down.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's kick it off.
You're driving.
All right. So we have the inside scoop on Jeffrey Epstein. I was his lawyer. I know things that court orders won't allow me to disclose. I was Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer.
Okay, hold up. First of
we
all,
already got to stop? Okay.
First of all, I just love that as an opening sentence. Like, that's a wonderful admission just to begin with, right? But I just want to point out that he was not just Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer. He considered him to be a friend, and they finished each other's sentences. Now, literally to that level of friendship. And I want to point out, before we go any further, Alan, we are drawing directly from the New Yorker article that you probably should just pull up to show everybody. I think we did send that to you.
That was what that was.
This is so we don't get sued, or at least we'll get sued along with the New Yorker. But the New Yorker wrote this in 2019. He has said many years ago that he was going to refute this and respond to every point in there, and he never did that. But this article is
happening.
Killer. Like,
hey,
this thing.
Look, I get it, Dersh. As a podcaster who frequently wants to cover stuff we never get to, I get it. Where you're like, I'm going to go through all of this.
Yes, that's right.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the most sympathetic
Look at that
thing.
cartoon, too.
I love it.
Like,
I love it.
It's so good.
Yeah, we'll link to it. But yeah, this is a great article.
Wait, who is that? Oh, who is that? Who's that?
Oh, that's probably Klaus van Bulow, the guy. Yeah, killed his wife.
I don't have the trading cards of all of Jeffrey Epstein's horrible people.
Yeah, this is Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
these are Dershowitz's clients. Yeah, these are. He just happens to really, really like to represent men who do terrible things to women. Yeah. That's kind of his deal. Yeah. So I just wanted to point out before we begin that any facts I'm talking about are either going to be coming from this article or directly from legal pleadings that I can link to as well. So we're not going to be going beyond the boundaries of what's been reported, but there's plenty out there, and this piece is good reading for anybody who wants to go deeper on it. So I just want to read from that very quickly though. He called Epstein brilliant and said that when they talked, debating mathematics, genetics, law, and psychology, nobody finefinishes a sentence. We cut each other off.
I mean, no,
that's right.
Just math stuff. Math, like 15 minus, never mind.
Just turbocharged.
18 minus 5 equals age of, no.
We cut each other off all the time because we just get it. He's the only person outside his family whom he would trust to evaluate drafts of his books. That has to be pretty serious. His wife once asked whether the friendship would endure if Epstein suddenly filed for bankruptcy. Dershowitz replied, I would be as interested in him as a friend if we had hamburgers on the boardwalk in Coney Island and talked about his ideas, his many ideas. So again, even if you were a poor, I would be friends with Jeffrey Epstein. That is quite a statement.
Name one idea that could be. Like, name one. So what was that from? So that's from the New Yorker article, but when was that quote?
2019. Oh, well, that quote, we don't know. That one's not sourced specifically there.
Okay. But I just want to name one idea. Like, what would that be? Just give me one, Dersh.
Apparently, he loved talking about science with sciencey people who wanted his money. So
he did. That is the thing. Epstein did do that. He cozied up to a lot of scientists. Steven Pinker,
Lawrence Krauss.
Yeah,
I saw a picture of them all together.
People.
Yeah,
and my impression is they were just kind of flattering him because he had all this money to give to all these different things, and like, oh yeah, sure, Jeffrey, great ideas about physics. Yeah, keep going.
Well, no, okay, but however, do you not know about the Lawrence Krauss defense of him?
No.
Oh my God! Here, I'll talk on. Look up Lawrence Krauss defends.
Yes.
Jeffrey Epstein. it is so dog shit. Like it is unbelievable. Lawrence Krauss, the amount of defense he put up of Jeffrey Epstein, like I'll just say it's alarming. It would raise alarm bells. I don't remember to what extent Pinker defended him. I don't remember, but Lawrence Krauss definitely did. Did you find it, Hen?
Well, I found where Rebecca Watson covered it on Skepchick.
Here, well, do you from memory? He said, "I'm a scientist, and so I gotta go where the evidence, and I don't see any evidence that there's any underage girl or whatever." So like he specifically tied in his scientific credentials and used that currency that he had to defend Jeffrey fucking Epstein.
Yeah,
the scientific method.
Yeah, no, it was literally something like that. I'm remembering this from the time. Lydia will tell me right now.
Yeah, you're basically right. He basically said that he had never seen Epstein rape a minor, and he's a scientist.
Oh, no. So I know what that looks like.
Yeah. We're working on detectors for that kind of thing that can detect those rape particles. But for now, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
So stupid.
It's pretty crazy. The money thing, I know you guys talked about this on Friday's show as well, but the money thing seems to be like really, really influential in pieces here too, right? With the Lawrence Krauss connections, Epstein gave a lot of money to help support Krauss's various
That's the only thing I will say. In
schools.
fairness, it could be just about securing funding and defending someone who's giving you a lot of money. I love that. The best case scenario is it's a bribe. Best case scenario is effectively you've gone for bribery. Yeah.
And I think that's a great angle too, because in the New Yorker piece, the author is talking about a hedge fund that Dershowitz got involved with that he knew about through Epstein.
Yes.
And they ended up losing a lot of money. Apparently, Epstein contacted the hedge fund manager and said, quote, "One of us is going to make Alan whole, and if I have to do it, that is an outcome you will regret." And so the hedge fund manager gave basically Dershowitz all of his money back. And then Dershowitz says he never heard that Epstein had made this call and that he understood Kramer had restored his money because he felt a, quote, moral obligation from a hedge fund manager. And when you've signed documents, paperwork, like that, very standard, if you lose money, you lose money. Right?
It's a gamble.
Well, that clears that up. What are you talking about? He just felt bad.
No, and Epstein said
hedge funds famously, they're like, "Oh, I feel bad. So here's some money." They're so nice, hedge funds.
They're
doing a lot of work that the church should be doing, you know?
It's like at poker, when you lose a bunch of money, the people just give you the money back, right? It's just
it's why those tournaments take so long, you know, because they're like, all in. Oh, guys, hey, he went all in.
I have to write a check back to them.
They're like the table like crowdfunds him back into the tournament.
No, but I'm glad you brought that up because that was really serious. Because apparently Epstein was threatening to pull like $40 million or something over Dershowitz's $200,000 or whatever it was.
Oh my god!
So like that's the extent of this friendship. Also, it says that Dershowitz wrote, and I didn't find this. I think it's paywalled somewhere, but he wrote something for the ABA saying that he wasn't sure he could represent Epstein because they were acquaintances, and he like basically defended how he thought he could anyway. And they were acquaintances. He spent a lot of time on his plane. He's logged quite a lot of time there. And there are other allegations about how closely acquainted they were. We'll get to, but I guess we can get past the first sentence now.
Thank you.
Hey, that's the way. That's our way.
That's how we do it.
I know the facts, some of which I can't disclose because it is privileged or subject to court-imposed sealing orders. But what I can disclose makes several important things clear. Epstein never created a, quote, client list. The FBI interviewed alleged victims who named several, quote, clients. These names have been redacted. They should be disclosed, but the courts have ordered them sealed. I know who they are. They don't include any current office holders. We don't know whether the accusations are true. The courts have also sealed negative information about some of the accusers to protect them. Neither the Justice Department nor private defense lawyers are free to disregard court sealing orders. The media can and should petition the courts for the release of all names and information so the public can draw its own conclusions.
This is so disingenuous, obviously. Like, he knows it's not coming out. He knows, in under any other circumstances, he'd be saying they should never be released because these people are falsely accused and it's never been proven and nothing's been settled. But yeah, no. And of course, as we talked about on Friday, of course, there's no client list. We have the so-called black book of everybody that Epstein had in his Rolodex, essentially. And then we have the flight logs, including many times that Dershowitz and Trump were both on those planes. So that's what we have so far. But
so I'm still unclear on that. What do we don't we have? There's no technical client list, but there's a list of people who we contacted. But then there's also
all of his people, right?
Because I'm genuinely wondering, is that just what we've all thought of when we say the words client list? Or was there a thing that we thought existed that didn't exist? Like, I genuinely don't know. Help me out here.
I don't think we know either, but it doesn't seem like there's like a database of everybody and how much money they gave him and acts they performed or something that the MAGA people seem to want.
Oh, like as if they were like paying him for like that? Like if you were like they were literally paying him to have sex with minors or something?
I mean, those wire transfers we talked about on Friday are pretty serious. Like there's a lot of money coming into him, about $1.5 billion from all these different places, including Eastern Europe, that they're just sending money back to. I mean, again, we could probably do the paper trail from that if the DOJ actually wanted to do it. But Dershowitz, again, as with all of this, as with the grand jury thing that Trump and Bondi keep trying to lead us to, it's all misdirection. It's all just saying, if you looked over there in this thing that you can't see, you'd see that I'd be completely exonerated along with everybody else. But the media should really be asking, as if the media hasn't been trying for years to get all of this, right? Come on.
Yeah, the American media, please. They want to know all of that stuff.
Yeah.
There has also been speculation about incriminating videos taken by hidden cameras in Epstein's guest bedrooms. There are videotapes, but they are of public areas of his Palm Beach, Florida home. Epstein reported the theft of money and a licensed firearm from a drawer in his living room, so the police installed a video camera. I am not aware of video cameras in guest bedrooms.
Okay.
Sorry, the police installed a video camera?
This feels like such a weird thing to call out in what is relatively a short op-ed. Like kind of talking about this thing in particular feels so...
Well, no, so
it's a little disconcerting to me. I'm like, oh, is there something there though?
Maybe. I don't know. I was actually going to say that like the next thing that could be considered the client list is if there's video and he can't, because like it seems so unlikely that this fucking guy, Jeffrey Epstein, didn't do some amount of like maybe leveraging or maybe something called like something like blackmail. And that it seems like video could have easily been a part of that. And so I get that Dersh wants to address that. And so his excuse is like, no, there's just a camera the police set. Do the police do that? Like, do they set it? I guess if you're,
I mean, he has a lot of money.
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, obviously Dersh was just talking one incident of which he's aware. And I love the way that this paragraph is written like objective journalism. Like he's collecting the facts about the videos, right? Because the reason he's saying this is because both Ghislaine Maxwell and known victim Virginia Giuffre both said that there were extensive video systems. Virginia and Maxwell herself has said that they are her leverage. Like she has copies of these videos. Allegedly, she told one of her best friends that she and Jeffrey both have copies of this stuff and they know where it is. And that I think that might have a lot to do with what's going on with Todd Blanche and this negotiation that's happening right now. Because she may really actually have access to some, secret encrypted thing somewhere.
That the police wouldn't have gotten? That she buried?
So, because I want to mention,
spot. Okay.
When the FBI went into Epstein's house in New York, they found a safe full of CDs and hard drives and money and jewelry and passports, but they didn't have a search warrant to remove anything from the safe. So they just took a bunch of pictures, came back a couple of days later, no more evidence. It's all gone. And,
wow. I didn't know that.
Yep. No, that's all very well reported. And I'm not going beyond what the reporting is here.
I'm surprised Dersh isn't telling us about that.
Yeah.
How weird.
We do also know that Maxwell had stepped into a blackmail-y sort of role also specifically with Giuffre, right? Like when she left and then things were starting to blow up for Jeffrey Epstein, she called her out of the blue and was like, hey, how's it going? Right. And then basically said, we have some things going on and what can we do to make sure that you don't talk to the police? And that Giuffre was like, I'm not talking to anybody and I don't want anything from you. Basically leave me alone. And then Epstein and his lawyers then found her very soon after and she was like frightened for her life, understandably. So we know that these are tactics that they were willing to take on women who were, victimized by them. I don't know why we would assume that they would treat this client list or whatever any differently. I think that it's all about leverage and, staying in power, right?
Yep. And all this stuff that Dershowitz says is so, like you said, it's so weird. It's so like carefully, narrowly stated. Everything that he's saying in this paragraph.
Yeah, that's a common way to deflect is by saying like, oh, they talk about video and then just bringing up one instance. Well, there was a home video once that he showed somebody of something. And then we're supposed to be like, oh, that's what the video. Oh, okay.
That's what they meant.
It was entirely just this.
It's also interesting that he says, I'm not aware of any guest bedroom recordings, right? Because he knows that there was a video system, right? So he's just saying, I'm not really sure the extent of it.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any video cameras in guest bedrooms.
So
it just feels weird. It's like answering a question that no one asked you.
Yep.
In some ways, like I mean,
that part I don't know why you're saying that because I feel like
I don't know.
what he's responding to is this idea that there's blackmail videos everywhere. So he's responding to that.
I guess, but ultimately, like if you're pushing back on this idea of like a client list and all of that stuff, I don't know why you couldn't just leave the op-ed like focused on that. This just feels like a very weird thing to then also have like a little tiny paragraph about as well. But just my opinion.
The subtext of all of this is you will never see me, Alan Dershowitz, in any of this evidence, right? And that may well be true by the end of all of this. All right, let's see what's next.
All right. Open records show an acquaintance between Epstein and Mr. Trump many years ago. That relationship ended when Mr. Trump reportedly banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago long before becoming president. I've seen nothing that would suggest anything improper or even questionable by Mr. Trump. I don't think anyone is being like, oh, you were still friends with Epstein when you were running for president. Like that's not what the issue is there. Long before becoming president. Like the issue is that you were still friends with him knowing that he was like doing all of this stuff with underage girls.
He doesn't give us a specific year. Again, it's all these expert ways of kind of look over there, like the nothing to see here. You know, he just says that like, oh, their relationship ended though. And I was like, okay, when? How much like sexual assault did they do before that? You know, like how much underage trafficking did they do before that? I don't know, but like you can't just say like, oh, well they no longer, they were no longer friends after a certain point.
Yeah. I believe there's some kind of a real estate deal that went bad that started it. And then Trump most recently, just within the last day or two, has said that
24 hours.
That they fell out because he stole people from Mar-a-Lago. And we do know that Virginia Giuffre, and he especially mentioned her, he specifically mentioned her, was one of the people that he stole away. She was working in his spa.
Yep.
So
hey,
that's
when you're
gross.
accused of associating with human traffickers, maybe don't be like, he stole one of my people from
my property. Yes, he took my property.
That's why I don't like him, is that I don't mind when he's trafficking people wherever anybody else's people, but people that I own, human beings, he took one of mine. That's not cool. No longer friends after that.
Yep.
I think this is like an especially interesting admission also because prior to literally a day ago, everybody was saying like, well, there are some differing thoughts about what soured this relationship. You know, some people were like, oh, it was the real estate deal in 2004. Some people said it was because he was being a creep, around Mar-a-Lago. There were like, just a few different things. But now you have it coming out of Trump's own mouth where he's like, he was stealing my young employees, underage girls from my establishment.
Traffic all you want outside of my home.
Right.
But once you come into my house and traffic some of my people that I've trafficked first or whatever.
Don't traffic a trafficker. Yeah.
And just to, because I have to call out legacy media. I have to call out legacy media where the words that were being used were stole, right?
Yeah.
When he's talking about this, you have the Washington Post calling it poached now. And that feels
headhunted.
Slimy.
Recruited.
Recruited,
Yeah.
exactly. Recruited to be a private masseuse.
And I will point out, too, that if either of them cared to, they could have walked to each other's houses at this point. They live 2 miles away. Epstein was 2 miles away from Mar-a-Lago at this point. So just in case there's any question
Why do
about
they live
how
so close?
They love Palm Beach. They have a lot in common. Yeah.
Yeah, they really did have a lot in common. We've seen the footage of them getting along quite nicely.
Yeah.
All
right. It is clear from the evidence that Epstein committed suicide. What isn't clear is whether he was assisted by jail personnel. That seems likely to me based on the evidence of allegedly broken cameras, transfer of his cellmate, and the absence of guards during relevant time periods.
This is weird, Ellen. Why are you bringing this up?
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah, well, I think it's for the same reason that Trump did. I think what's going on here is they want to be able to point to things to get people's minds going that don't implicate them at all.
Right.
Like the
hey,
Epstein issue is actually
dying?
Yeah.
Like we're like, hey, what happened with all the trafficking and you were a part of it? But they want us to be like, oh, did he die? Oh, did the guards help him? Because like, there's no way. I don't look. There may be people who believe this. I don't believe Trump had anything to do with Epstein's death. I don't believe that Dershowitz had anything to do with Epstein's death. So that's why I think they're comfortable to just be like, what went on with the death there? Oh, it's kind of weird.
I'm sorry, this is really morbid,
right?
but like the idea that Jack Kevorkian was working there, I guess, that like they assisted in his suicide. Like, it's just very weird phrasing.
Well,
They helped him out.
yeah, I do think, like, honestly, bribing guards for that kind of thing, like, that doesn't seem out of the question to me.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, the assisted just takes it to another level of active. But yeah, I mean, I like you said, it's also, I think that a lot of this, I should have said this earlier, I think he's just trying to establish the official narrative, because we're going to be seeing a lot of this in the next couple of weeks as we get closer to the potential pardon and or Supreme Court, clearance.
Gosh.
And think about how much, sorry.
No, good.
Think about how much work that, we already talked about it, that I've seen the records. I know the records. I can't tell you. I know, because then that just primes us so that all of this article, well, he has secret knowledge that we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have any idea how much of this article is based on that, or if there's one thing he's loosely basing on that and everything else is just him speculating, because like when it comes to some of this other stuff, the suicide, he has no inside information onto that.
Right.
No.
The next thing we're going to talk about here, I don't think he would have any. You can tell me.
He might actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it then.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no doubt that Epstein never worked for any intelligence agency. If he had, he would surely have told me and his other lawyers who would have used that.
I mean, his lawyer, just as a lawyer.
Right.
Who would have used that information to get him a better deal.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. He's facing a 53-page indictment. It would put him away for life. Like, this relative actually put him away for life.
Yeah.
And he gets a non-prosecution agreement. Just to remind everybody, through Alex Acosta, who became Trump's Secretary of Labor, and Alan Dershowitz, when he says, I was Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer, he means during that time when he got him that deal.
When he's saying getting a better deal, he means during that time? I was just assuming it was for the thing that ended up getting him.
No, it's the sweetheart deal.
Oh my God. There is no better deal.
No, exactly.
There's no better deal ever given to any person.
No, he should have gone away for
relative
life.
to their horrible crimes
and
relative to what the time they should have done.
It's also that's just such a joke, the way that it was set up too. Like the time that he did serve, right? The work release program, he got to participate in that immediately, and that's not something that was like in the sheriff policy, right? And then and then they had the guards dress up in suits. Like to welcome any of his visitors and stuff.
So he could sit in his office for his work release. Yeah.
And then they had a TV set up in another cell. It was like this really weird, strange, like Sims universe thing that they played around with. It was so strange.
He gave the Palm Beach Police Department a lot of money, and he got to just do his own thing.
The cell was unlocked. He got to leave whenever he wanted to.
Yeah. No, I guess Dershowitz is saying because the whole case wasn't just dismissed, that proves he's not intelligence. But remember that's
literally the only better deal. Like
Alex
there's
Acosta
nothing else.
Said that I can't give a better deal. This is I had to give this deal because he belongs to intelligence. This is above my pay grade. He said that in public, and that still has not. And he tried to kind of walk that back a little. He's never fully walked that back. So there is, and again, we don't need to speculate too much beyond what we know. But there's very good reason to believe that both Mossad and the CIA might have had interest in what Epstein knew and what he'd been recording. And there's plenty of testimony from victims that Epstein would ask them about things that they had done, specifically with other people, especially famous people, just to keep note, just to keep track of everything. So, again, this is so unconvincing.
And I do want to say, while we're talking about that sweetheart deal and Alex Acosta, that the DOJ report coming out being like, there was no, maybe poor judgment, but no misconduct. Even Ben Sasse is like, he's pissed about this. Ben Sasse
Sorry,
said,
I missed this. The poor judgment on what?
On Alex Acosta and this sweetheart deal from the early 2000s, right? Even Ben Sasse says, quote, letting a well-connected billionaire get away with child rape and international sex trafficking isn't poor judgment. It is a disgusting failure. Americans ought to be enraged. Jeffrey Epstein should be rotting behind bars today, but the Justice Department failed Epstein's victims at every turn. That's from Republican Ben Sasse. He's livid about how this has worked out.
You don't get any more consensus than all of us plus 4 Republicans. That's as much. That means
best we can do.
The sky is blue.
Seriously.
46 Republicans, they're not going to sit there quiet about whether or not the sky is blue. They're waiting to see if Trump has any bill about the sky being blue or not.
Just to really put the nail in it, too, just remember, everybody, that this was the non-prosecution agreement was that he would not be federally charged and would face dinky state charges. He could have been facing even minor federal charges would have been way more serious than what he got. So this, again, as Thomas said, no possible better deal. Let's keep going.
All right. Then we have a parenthetical. He wasn't satisfied with the so-called sweetheart deal he got, which required him to spend 1.5 years in a local jail and register as a sex offender.
I'm sure he wasn't.
Okay.
He wasn't satisfied.
So Dersh, as, a skilled lawyer, is anticipating our very obvious counter that we just had, which is, what are you talking about? There's no fucking such thing as a better deal. And he wasn't satisfied with
it. He didn't like it.
So-called sweetheart deal. So-called.
I mean,
is it? Yeah. What? How do? Is he allowed to just say that? Wouldn't that be attorney-client privilege if anything was? Because that's their discussions about dealings and stuff. I don't know.
I'm guessing he probably told other people that too, so it's safe. But yes, I was wondering that too. Yeah. But I mean, interesting. Yeah, again, this is just the idea that he would instead, I guess, he would have a press conference and be like, well, we're having this dismissed because it turns out my client works for the CIA and Mossad. So see you, everybody. We're just keep doing
that 1.5 years to
0.
9 months. Yeah,
dismissed.
All for offering himself up as an intelligence asset or whatever, revealing it, which who knows, if he were, I feel like that could potentially endanger him, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Why would you do that? Yeah, I mean, it's just, it makes no sense. It's just on its face. All right, let's keep going.
My sources in Israel have confirmed to me that he had no connection to Israeli intelligence.
Oh, what are we talking about? Sorry, Alan.
Boy,
didn't get that far.
This fucking guy.
Connections. Yeah,
this fucking
my sources.
Guy. Those are they in the court records that we can't see too? No, this is just you talking out your ass.
I mean, he is basically Israel's defense lawyer at this point, so
yeah,
he does have sources in Israel, no doubt. But
that false story, recently peddled by Tucker Carlson, probably emanated from credible allegations that Robert Maxwell, and then gives us his date of, from his birth date to his deceased date for some reason, 1923 to 91. I don't know why that matters. Father of Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, worked with the Mossad.
I think he's trying to say that Maxwell couldn't have met Epstein and directly passed on the torch, but Ghislaine obviously knew plenty of people, and there's a whole bunch of investigative journalism on the possible ties to Mossad. I'm not going to speculate that much; it's beyond what I know, but it's pretty convincing that one way or another he was working for intelligence,
really,
of some kind. Wow. Yeah.
Basically, we're opening up this rabbit hole for everyone to fall down into with us.
Yeah,
off air. We're not going to do it on air. But
Whitney Webb tips have done a lot of work on this. It's probably worth a look, but I can't validate that. So.
Conspiracy stories attract readers, viewers, and listeners. They are also fodder for political attacks. The Epstein case has generated more than its share of such theories, and there is nothing more annoying to gossip mongers than when stubborn facts, or the absence of facts, get in the way of a juicy theory. Sorry to disappoint you, but there is really nothing much to see here beyond what has already been disclosed.
Literally, nothing to see here. That's how he ends it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Why are you writing this op-ed?
Because there's nothing to see here, didn't you?
So
you didn't even understand what you just read.
He has spent.
That's the part I do get. He's writing this because he needs to.
Yeah.
He needs to defend against all of this stuff. I'm surprised he didn't talk about keeping his underpants on.
Yeah, he very specifically does not mention his own involvement, his own culpability, the allegations. I will point out the allegations in Jane Doe lawsuits, which he took as some kind of indication. The Jane Doe lawsuits against J.P. Morgan, where they sued and got a bunch of money for victims. Because of the violations of the CVRA, it doesn't really matter right now. But in those allegations, they were very specific about Dershowitz's involvement, and we don't have to read them out right now. But there's some very specific.
Why not? I want to know. I don't.
Well,
give me the gist of it.
Pull it up. Pull it up, Matt.
Yeah, the lawyers actually, in one of these filings that I just had up, they go on. Yeah, here we go. Very quickly. Epstein required Jane Doe number 3 to have sexual relations with Dershowitz on numerous occasions while she was a minor, not only in Florida, but also in private planes in New York, New Mexico, and the Virgin Islands. For some reason, he's really intent on the New Mexico thing not being true. Doesn't mention the other ones. In addition to being a participant in the abuse of Jane Doe with 3 and other minors, Dershowitz was an eyewitness to the sexual abuse of many other minors by Epstein and several of Epstein's co-conspirators, which again, he spent a lot of time around Epstein and in Epstein's mansion. He had to have been aware. Dershowitz would later play a significant role in negotiating the MPA on Epstein's behalf. Indeed, he helped negotiate an agreement that not only provided an immunity from federal prosecution, but also to any potential co-conspirators.
Yep.
So again, this is just making the obvious point that he made a deal that directly benefited himself, potentially, even as somebody who was a witness, by the way, who might have been a conspirator in some sense that he didn't say anything.
How was any of that allowed, lawyer-wise? I never understand.
Sure
What's allowed, Matt?
Harvard ethics professor.
He's part of the
case. What are you doing?
He's part of the whatever, and he can make the deal. The deal benefits him.
Yep.
Because honestly, even from not that I give a shit about Jeffrey Epstein, but just in terms of the rules of attorney-client stuff, if Dershowitz wants a deal that protects all co-conspirators, that could conflict with Epstein, who would have wanted to do the best deal for himself.
Right.
And so it could have been that Dershowitz gave stuff up, maybe, hypothetically, to get a better deal for himself.
Yep.
And not for
rather
Epstein.
than for his
Again, I don't
client,
give a
yeah.
shit about Epstein, but just in terms of how the attorney-client like stuff works, like you would think that would be unethical, like at the very least on Dershowitz's part.
Himself and a network of people he knew about that he's friends with or is otherwise connected with, right? That aren't his
Can
clients.
you just do that as a lawyer, Matt?
No, none of
I
this.
need an ethics teacher. I need a Harvard ethics teacher.
Beyond my understanding of how any of this is supposed to work.
And furthermore, sorry, there should be on the bottom here. You know how in studies you have to do a conflict report or whatever?
Yeah.
The bottom should be Mr. Dershowitz is definitely part of one of the of the trafficking.
Right.
So take this all with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I do need to add, just so we're representing his side here, that Jane Doe 3 and 4 were not added. So 3 is, they were trying to get 3 added, and that was the one that he was supposed to be involved with. The judge did not vindicate him in saying this. He said, basically, this is just an unrelated party. We're focused on Epstein right now. We're not bringing other people. But Dershowitz took this as a complete vindication, obviously.
Of course he did.
Yeah. And filed his own very indignant affidavit in the case. So I just have to reference that.
He's also had like this sort of, not necessarily flip-floppy, but from the New Yorker article, the author writes, he has since said that Epstein's case is the only one out of more than 250 in his career that he regrets taking.
Yeah.
Dershowitz told me that he was misled about the severity of the allegations. He said that Epstein had told him that, quote, there were only half a dozen accusers who were under the age, and that, quote, they slipped through the cracks, they presented fake ID. He added, quote, when I later learned the extent of this, I was shocked. But
yeah, half a dozen child sex traffic counts. I mean, what is that between friends? But
then here you are, like getting out of the federal charges, so then you can just do state charges. So you, like, I mean, it's just, it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Fucking guy. Nobody has more fucking chutzpah than
to get that
Dershowitz.
deal. Not just Dershowitz, but Ken Starr was also involved in negotiating this, which is super weird. Roy Blackhook, who just passed a few days ago, Jack Goldberger, former U.S. Attorney Guy Lewis, Gerald Lefcourt, and Lefkowitz, I'm not remembering his first name, but all had to represent him to get this incredible deal. So this was a joint effort. Full credit to all of them for this wonderful work. Yeah.
The amount of corruption involved in that.
So bad.
Just staggering.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Well, we want to go into something a little goofier?
Yeah, that would be nice. Let's do something else. What do you have for us?
So this is an absolute classic. And one thing I meant to say about the format is what I'd love to do is pair up like breaking stuff like we just talked about with Epstein with classics. And this is a classic in my field. It's one of the first things I thought of when we thought of Rapid Response, because this video that we're about to see is one of the best known videos in immigration sort of policy education from the right. And I show this video in my class every time I teach immigration policy at the graduate or undergraduate level. And not as an educational tool, but just as a fun way to do what we're about to do, to try to respond to it and have students by the end of the class be able to use critical thinking, as we're all about to do on this video.
Right.
But it's got 7 million views on YouTube. It's very popular. I actually had one student tell me that she had been shown this video in class as a serious teaching tool, which is amazing to me. And I'd like to find out which professor that was.
Oh, wow.
But we're going to hear from Roy Beck of NumbersUSA. And Lydia will talk about, we'll talk about numbers and Roy in a bit here. But just want to say up front, Roy Beck is a very well-known opponent of immigration. And NumbersUSA is connected to the Tanton network. John Tanton was a racist Michigan dentist who dedicated his entire life to just funding anti-immigrant stuff. And one of his deals was basically doing
dentistry. Like,
yeah,
what
it's just like a fun hobby.
path.
Just like his, and honestly, John Tanton is proof that one person can make a difference, honestly, because he put a lot of time and effort into corresponding with white nationalists, Ku Klux Klan leaders. His papers came out, like my friend, Hassan has a lot of these papers, and more and more is coming out from his correspondence, and more the people like Roy Beck have had to distance themselves from Tanton. But Roy Beck, again, worked directly for Tanton as an editor for the Social Compact, which is his white nationalist magazine, worked very closely with him, denied to Congress that he was under his direction in 2004, 5 years after he started working for him, denied, again, that he was taking money, even though at that point, millions and millions are coming in from different foundations still associated with Tanton. So I just want to set this up because the New York Times, of course, likes to let us know Roy Beck is a genial opponent of immigration. He's a very, aw shucks, easygoing kind of guy, as you'll see. He just wants to get to the answers.
Yeah.
What's that from?
That's
the
from the New York
Times.
Naturally.
What?
Like 2014.
A genial opponent.
Yeah.
Of immigration.
A genial force behind bitter opposition. Genial force behind bitter opposition. So that's exactly what he wants to be. Is like the friendly grandfather who voted for Obama.
Grandpa
once.
vibes for sure. Like you definitely get grandpa vibes from this.
Yeah. And also idiot vibes. But let's take a look at Roy Beck. So I'm gonna just like this last one. I'm gonna stop you on the first sentence.
So do we want to go straight to the video?
Let's get to it.
Yeah, pull it up.
Gumballs.
Okay.
To a live audience, by the way. This is a VHS tape that was passed around before it was on YouTube.
My favorite is the audience's reaction,
Yes.
like throughout this.
Handpicked audience. They're great.
Blowing my ears out.
Oh, no
Can't
sound.
hear him.
You can't hear it?
We can't hear. No.
Why would that be? Let me retry. Oh, we're live. That's right. Can you hear it now?
Nope.
Sorry.
Let me try like removing that and redoing it. You heard it when I played that before, right? Like when we were testing it?
Yep.
Nothing has changed. Let me just try I'll unscreen share and rescreen share. Maybe something got buggy there. Let's try it. Hold on. Here we go. Let's try. How about now? Oh, hold on. No? Yeah? No?
No.
You can't hear it?
No, sorry.
Oh boy, that's incredible. Why would that be? It's supposed to, you should be hearing it just from this. Like it should be a part. Oh, is it like muted somehow? Let me see. Oh, full screen layout. Did it somehow, what? Why would that be happening? I actually have no explanation for this. So it worked before.
Yeah.
Let me try opening it in a, like, reopening it again. Okay. Does anyone have anything else to say while I test this? Somebody vamp, take over.
Let's double check over.
That's not vamping.
Sorry. Just something we could cut.
Do you not know what vamping is? You can't do this. You have to do. Okay. Let me just try. Okay. Reloaded it. Is this good?
No.
Nope.
No?
No.
What is happening? Because this isn't coming through my crazy setup. This should just be, we're screen shared. And let me try one more thing here. You definitely heard it before.
Yep.
Stop screen. Huh. Okay, well, I'll do one more try and then we'll see what
Here,
happens.
while we're setting that up, Matt, I want to know your thoughts on, Beck says that he came to be interested. Oh, there it goes.
There it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Just needed to do the right combination of things. Do you want to finish that sentence?
Yeah. I just want to know what Matt's thoughts are on this, where Beck has said, like, he became interested in immigration because of population growth, because of the effect on the environment.
Yes.
Sure.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, what are your thoughts there?
So Tanton was a genius at this because he understood that he could get to a lot of different audiences. He knew that his limited audience was going to be with white nationalists and actual Klan members, right? That's not that many people. But in the 60s and 70s, there was the ZPG, the Zero Population Growth Movement, was very popular among environmentalists, especially the idea, let's stop having kids. And then, of course, he's a eugenicist, so then it becomes, well, let's decide who stops having kids. And maybe certain continents shouldn't have as many kids as other continents. He also, I should point out, funded at least one group that was basically designed to turn Black Americans against immigrants, completely funded and run by white people, of course. And as well as one of those kind of facially on its face, just asking questions kind of things. But U.S. English was just to get English education into schools. But the entire purpose of it was to stop bilingual education and stop Spanish education. So, just across the board, just a whole potpourri and a cornucopia of bad stuff.
And that kind of bad faith shit they've been doing for so long that I'm so sick. I can't believe we're still falling for it. I can't believe the media is still falling for this false framing where it's like, well, their concern is really about, it's like, no, these bad faith ways of smuggling in pure white nationalism go back forever. Stop. It's not good journalism to credit someone's bullshit explanation for their racism. That's not good journalism.
And
but somehow we decided, if someone says, well, no, I'm just the environment, aren't you? The environment. Right. Okay, well, as a reporter, he says he's concerned about the environment, and that's why he's a fucking racist. And it's like, do better journalism where you actually look into it and don't even, and sometimes they do the thing where they're like, well, he says this, but, many would disagrry, or the evidence. I skip past that too. You tell me. You look into what he's done in the past. What are his initiatives? What are the things he said? And this is one example. There's a million of these. Tell me what the actual truth is.
But it's just facts, right?
Every single article should always mention that he said in writing specifically that he wants to be sure this country has a European American majority. That's what's important to him. So that's what it always comes back to. And obviously, if you just say that out loud over and over again, you're not going to get the kind of following that you might get if you say that you care about Black people and ecology and English language education, right? So Yeah.
But somewhere, and this is going to be a theme again, I think of the stuff we're covering for Vapid Response, somewhere in journalism fucking school, they decided that if a Klan member says, no, it's not, I'm concerned about the environment. It's bad reporting if you don't say that. Like if you don't like credit that as their reason.
Right,
but that's just being gullible. That's all that is. That's not good reporting. That doesn't bring me the truth in any way.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we waited long enough for this to not work again.
There we go.
We're good.
Okay.
That music.
Immigration and Gumballs.
Some people say that mass immigration into the United States can help reduce world poverty.
Hold up. Just going to say right now, as an expert, just going to weigh in and say for 19 years, I've been studying this in this field. I've been reading around in this field. I've been talking to a lot of people who care about this field in both law and policy. And I've never heard a single person say that we can solve world poverty through immigration. I just want to say that up front.
What?
Some people say that. This is the strawiest straw man that I've ever seen presented.
Yeah, exactly.
He's creating a kind of guy.
Is the straw man that, is it like, well, some people think that if we take in the world's poor, we're so great as a country, that'll reduce poverty overall. Is that kind of what
that's what he's responding to?
He's saying people say?
Yeah.
That was like my feeling too, was like, first of all, there's no way anybody says that. The World Bank is not going to say, in order to solve extreme poverty across the entire world, everyone has to like move to the rich places. Like that doesn't make any sense at all. Like why would that be the solution? And even if those people did move to the richer countries or whatever, there's no way that they wouldn't continue to be in poverty because of the way that we treat immigrants in general. Disabled communities, like the undereducated, like those people would continue to live in poverty, just in a different place.
All right. I want to see if he's going to eat this gumball.
Is that true? Well, no, it's not. And let me show you why. This gumball represents the 1 million legal immigrants that the United States has taken every year on average since 1990.
Tasty.
Now, who in the
roll it
world
around.
deserves our humanitarian compassion?
Wine.
The World Bank has one measure of the desperately poor of the world. They make less than $2 a day. And how many people make less than $2 a day in the world? We'll start with Africa. In Africa alone, there are 650 million people.
That's a whole lot of gumballs.
Who make less than $2 a day.
You couldn't find one container that just holds all of them?
Nope.
And in India,
Give the bonus one.
This is the whole conceit of your stupid idiot talk is the gumball theory of whatever. And you had to find two. You're like, damn it. This is the biggest container I've got. Print out another Africa sticker. Fuck.
We got extra Africa.
Damn it. Wait, if we would it work if I just put it on top? Does it look like one thing? No, it doesn't look like one thing. I need to get another sticker. All right.
Actually,
God damn it. It's a
like
slightly different look too on the font.
My favorite food, of course, the milkshake. You always get the little extra metal container with the extra milkshake.
Yeah.
This extra gumball container. Yeah. I do want to point out while we're stopped that these people love, for some reason, comparing immigrants to candy and to food. It's really, remember the Skittles thing? Where
of course, because our friend Eli Bosnick went viral for his response to that.
Oh yeah, way back.
Yeah, he shared a quote or something that was pasted to a meme and then went mega viral, I think. So yeah, that's why I remember the Skittles thing.
Yeah, he said basically, if I handed you like a jar that had one poison Skittle in it, would you take any from the jar? And of course, the analogy is more like if you had like a warehouse, but whatever.
Yeah.
But it's also weird.
Poison. What are you talking about?
They're not candy. It's just
it's more like if I took this warehouse of Skittles in which there's some poison ones, and I combined it with this other bigger warehouse that has a higher ratio of poison ones. If I smash those two warehouses together, what? That's the actual analogy. There's more poison ones per person per Skittle. There's more poison Skittles per Skittle here already. That's just a fact.
Yep.
We're not eating it. We're just combining the Skittles, and it's actually making us less poison as a whole.
There's another one too I'm not remembering, but let's keep going.
Another 890 million people desperately poor.
Okay,
China
so maybe those came in a set of 3. No, let's find out. Oh, no, okay.
People.
Like, damn,
making
Costco
less than
only had a
$2
4-pack of these
And unfortunately,
cylinders.
the rest of
How dare you
Asia
bring Costco
has
into
a
this? This is an
heartbreaking
Amazon
810
purchase.
million
Please.
people.
Sorry, when is this from? I thought this was super old.
Oh, it is.
It is super old.
Originally filed in 96 or something, yeah.
I just will not hear slander about
this was
Costco.
clearly
Costco
a
would not
I'm not
support this.
slandering
All right.
Costco. He bought the cylinders at Costco.
Yes,
Who
not
the
that
World
long.
Bank say make less
Rest
than
of
$2
Asia.
Rest of Asia.
a day. And finally, there's 105 million of
Rest
Latin
of
America's
Asia.
population
How? I can't.
that are desperately poor. All told, the World Bank says
my
there
God.
are 3 billion people in the world. 3 billion people
No.
who are desperately poor, making less than $2 a day. That's
almost
3,000
No.
gumballs.
So pause there, because I was like, there's no freaking way
Not
that is
possible.
true. It's literally not possible. So I was looking at, they don't have the data going back that far, and I found like a blog post from an author that was like looking at these numbers as well. And they said that they actually had a big methodology change. So it's kind of hard, like maybe that number technically existed at some point. But Roy Beck has never updated like any information about this video on his website, on YouTube, anywhere. They specifically say in their FAQs, hey, if you find an issue with something we're reporting, reach out, let us know, and we'll get it fixed. This author from the blog post tried that, never heard anything. Tried again, never heard anything. So this number, this 3 billion people, there's no way to like maybe he saw that at some point, but it's with a methodology from the World Bank that they're not using anymore because it was flawed. So let's talk about like actual numbers, what we're looking at. Granted, it's more recent than what Roy Beck is dealing with here, but I think it helps give an indication that 3 billion makes absolutely no sense. So
I'll stop you. I can just tell you 3 billion doesn't make sense. I can save you some trouble. No, you did some work. We'll let you continue.
So in 2017, the threshold for like this desperate poverty score was $2.15 a day. And there were 611 million people in the world making less than that. In 2021, they raised the dollar amount to $3 a day. Makes sense. And there were 808 million people making less than that. Nowhere are we even getting close to like
That's
the billion mark.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Not even close.
And you would think that, again, over time, this would grow. And no, 3 billion makes absolutely no sense. So just wanted to call that out.
Also, even if it mattered, which it doesn't really, even if it mattered, it doesn't make any sense to say that all those people, what he's doing, okay, are you guys familiar with Camp of the Saints? Do you know this book? I mean, I don't expect you've read it, but it's actually, I think it was either Stephen Miller or Steve Bannon said it was his favorite book, but it's a disgusting racist book. I actually have read a lot of it because it's available in PDF. And not coincidentally, Tanton's publishing company at one point did publish it, but it's a really disgusting book about basically, it's almost like a satire of like a flotilla of brown people coming over from India and other places that we don't want, coming to Europe, and like they just ravage Europe, basically. They take over and they're just disgusting, and they're like, they're described as like these inhuman animals, basically. And the fantasy he's setting up here is that there's just all these ravenous, inhuman people that are just at our door, that are just ready to come here, right? And surveys, by the way, show that most people would not leave their countries, even under difficult circumstances. It takes a really special kind of person.
Well, and the ones that do want to leave their country, you said it was India?
Yeah, that was the example in the book,
Okay.
The surrounding areas.
Because Europe has done a lot of great things for India over the years. Like the ones who do want to leave, probably because fucking Britain ruined it. Like, come on.
White people ruined
it. Unbelievable.
Yeah. No, and so just remember, that's the sort of the thing when you see the shock in the audience and like the faces and the reaction. That's what he's going for, is like thinking about all these poor, desperate, non-white people that want to come here. When in fact, like you look at it, there's a classic example of when everybody knew the wall was going to go up in Berlin. Literally, there's a subway that you could take from East to West Berlin if you wanted to move to the other side. And people chose to stay with their families, even knowing life was about to get a lot worse in East Berlin. You think about Hurricane Maria, right, where U.S. citizens could have come from Puerto Rico, but still toughed it out and stayed, maybe out of poverty, maybe because of social ties, maybe because they don't know anybody here, they don't speak the language, right? There's lots of reasons. But those are people that are U.S. citizens that could have moved anywhere in the United States, and they stuck with
and they would
after
get
the hurricane.
To vote, right, if they moved.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it would, and I mean, it's just so. Just even inside our own country, people don't move after disasters, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this is the idea that
it
these
shows
people
the
could
dehumanization. These aren't people to them. Like they don't put there's no empathy.
They're a mess.
There's no putting yourself in their shoes. They're just a threat. They're just a brown threat.
Yep. Or a colorful gumball threat. Just a whole bunch of colorful Some of them are white, sort of, but no, they're just gumballs, and that's again, it's all part of the demonization.
Yeah, you should have taken out all the white gumballs.
Yeah, that's true. Let's just be honest here. Yeah,
like really drive the point home.
Yeah.
Gumballs of color.
Does he have an America cylinder that's just white gumballs?
Red, white, and blue gumballs. Yeah.
Oh god. We keep going here. I want to see what other like Tupperware he has.
Every year,
mainly what I'm interested in.
We take 1 million and suggest
to just pull them out.
That we've somehow made a humanitarian difference.
We take them.
Of course, we don't pull our immigrants from these desperately poor populations, do we?
Nope.
These people are too poor, too sick, too disconnected
to
make it here as immigrants.
Shit, what are the
we
gumballs
tend to
we
pull
got?
our immigrants out of the better off poor of the world. And Mexico tends to define the type of immigrant that we bring here because the plurality of people come from Mexico. And Mexico is poor. How many people in the world live in countries that have average incomes lower?
Yeah.
Cameraman finding the one person of color in the audience. So, lingering.
It gets even better.
We saw a couple of others before, too. I meant to point that out before, that they like very prominently centered. And who knows, how they got them there, what they're doing there. But this is a really important part of these people's message, is that it's not just white people who are concerned about this stuff.
And perhaps I should have said, I saved myself for marriage for this, man. I didn't watch this. Lydia
As
prepped,
it should be.
But I did not watch. Yeah,
honoring the compact.
So I'm reacting in real time to whatever the fuck this old idiot is. This is crazy.
I did your best.
He's got all these gumballs, and he's like, now, but this is all irrelevant because the gumballs we're actually getting are from Mexico. Well, where are those gumballs? Did you run out of Tupperware? Are they, because they're not poor, are they different gumballs? Like, are they like different kind of gum? They're Tootsie Roll Pops? I don't know. What are they?
Than that of Mexico. And the World Bank tells us that number is these 3 billion plus another 2.6 billion people.
What? That's like the whole world.
Yeah. Back then, that's like almost the whole world.
At a certain point, it just has everybody's a gumball. Just we're all gumballs. What have you accomplished? What?
That's 5,600 gumballs.
You hear the
hold on,
hubbub?
There's murmurs. Yeah, I gotta go back.
Yeah.
There's murmurs.
Oh, it's so good.
5.6 billion people in the world.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, what year was this?
96. I think at the time.
What was the population in 96? 7 billion?
Probably
Somebody
the exact number that he's saying, minus 100 people.
Oh, wait, but he's saying 5.6 billion. Maybe I'm losing track of his gumball theory.
5.8 billion in 1996, according to this.
So 5.6 billion of the 5.8 billion people are
am I crazy? That's
poverty.
What he's saying, right? Isn't he saying 5.6 are poor?
5.6
billion?
Yes, because 3 billion are the extreme poverty level, and then there's another 2.6 billion people that are really poor.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This is even dumber. I thought the population was higher back then. So when he did this, he's essentially saying, see everyone in this room, look to your left, look to your right. We're the only ones who aren't poor. This is it right here.
Everybody else. And Bill Gates. And Bill Gates. That's it.
I will note, for what it's worth, actually, global poverty has actually done a lot better since. Numbers have gone up quite a lot since he recorded this. So like you said, they're refusing to update the numbers, but let's keep going.
Okay.
Who live in countries with average incomes below that of Mexico. That's 5,600 gumballs. And so what is it that the elites are telling us? They're telling us that when we take this 1 million immigrants, that we somehow or another are tackling world poverty.
I'm sorry, as an elite, let me tell you. I
Yeah.
never said that. I've never once said that in my life. I've said we do better by pulling in refugees, obviously people who are actually afraid to return to their countries, but I've never said we're going to improve the entire world by pulling people from other places. Now, I will also point out, though, when you pull 1 million people here, and million is still pretty accurate as to illegal immigration to this country, that's actually still pretty good.
Per year?
Per year. That's about what we have in terms of permanent residents. And that's not including necessarily asylum seekers, and that's excluding some other categories as well.
Okay.
But roughly, you can say 1 million is about right in terms of like regular immigration. And so just think about the overall, I mean, you can actually, because in terms of just remissions, what's the word? Money that's sent back home, just in itself, right? That's like a major supporter of global economies like El Salvador. I mean, they use our dollar for a reason because they have so much money sent back, and they're doing more. Having families send money back does more than even like any kind of poverty program we could do because it's targeted directly into communities.
Well, hey man, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but not to mention, if there was a burning building full of 5.6 billion people, and you had the option to pull 1 million people out of that burning building, Would you be like, well, but not gonna make a difference. Barely. Just a million people I'm saving. What's fuck?
Right.
Look at all the other ones.
It's a lot of people.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. No. And
I do also want to say, like, he talks a lot about the World Bank. And again, the World Bank also has never said, like, immigration is going to solve the world poverty situation.
It's not even what our thought.
But they do have, and they
No.
what they do have, though, are their reports about what their calls to action are based on, the income level of your country. And so for high income countries, this is from a recent report that they did. They specifically say that high-income and upper-middle-income countries with high emissions must accelerate mitigation to advance on the interlinked goals globally while managing transition costs. Basically, like, you have other countries are being impacted by the effects of climate change and all of these things that are kind of snowballing into bigger issues and stuff. The high-income countries, at the very least, have a role to cut their emissions so they're not negatively impacting people's environments halfway across the world, and then benefiting from that, right? And then on the flip side, for fragile countries, what they say is that low-income and fragile countries need to prioritize poverty reduction by fostering investment in human, physical, and financial capital. They don't say low-income and fragile countries should send their people away to move to another country. They say take what you can and focus on investment in these things that are going to help lift people out of poverty while they can still live in their country.
And that's and
stupid.
I mean, okay, so like there's some Micronesian countries that are going to go underwater, and there has been proposal to have like a visa program, just like the refugee program that exists through the UN now, to literally distribute people around the world whose countries are no longer going to exist because of our emissions. That makes sense. That's not, of course, this is in 96. Nobody's thinking about that, but that's a very different proposition.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, well, we're at an hour already. Okay, we got to finish this.
We got to finish Gumballs.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, I got to find out what's going to happen to these gumballs.
Unemployed, the working poor, the most vulnerable members of our society, regardless of the effect on our natural resources. Even if we went by the most radical proposals in Washington, which are to actually double our immigration to 2 million a year, which would totally overwhelm our physical, natural, and social infrastructures.
Really?
We couldn't make a noticeable difference.
Sorry.
And we may be
2 million
really...
a year. Hold on. 1 million a year is what we're doing. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if we doubled it, overwhelm. Mass cast. So the amount we get in 2 years is
Sharknado.
Impossible.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
There you go. You got it.
The impoverished people of the world. Because the million that we do take are among the most energetic, often the better educated, certainly the most dissatisfied people that if they did not immigrate would be the agents for change to improve the lot
The way he looks
of
at
all
those
the people
gumballs
in
there
these
makes me so
countries.
uncomfortable.
The true heroes in the global humanitarian
He's gonna
field
chew one.
are
here
the
it
people
comes,
in
here it
these
comes.
countries who have the wherewithal to immigrate to another country, but instead stay in their countries to apply their skills to help their fellow countrymen. Unfortunately, our immigration system tends to entice these very type of people to abandon their countrymen. The impossibility of making even a dent is actually worse than it looks here.
Explain this very quickly. We'll keep
sorry.
it quick, but this is a very common argument. And there's this case. He's mostly right about the idea that obviously, as we've talked about before, the kind of person who would actually make this trek, who would bring their children, who would actually go to the effort is like the kind of person we want here. Like this is
It's a
like
self-selecting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and certainly I can verify from my clients from 19 years of practice that these are incredible people that you would love to have as your neighbors and in your community. But that doesn't mean there's also not a lot of great people back home. I mean, but he's making the very, very disingenuous bad faith argument that, well, the real heroes, the people we love the most, are the ones who don't come. And like, be a hero and stay home. That's the argument. Yeah. Don't do the brain drain, right? And yeah.
Does he want to help? Does he want to provide financial support to these countries, like foreign aid? Oh,
no, he wants them to bootstrap it.
Shit.
Yeah, it's time to bootstrap it.
Really doesn't give a shit.
Of course.
Last year, when we took 1 million immigrants, these countries added births over deaths.
Oh. You're not even ready for this.
80 million more
And they
people
were all red.
into the impoverished population.
Yeah, I think one.
The commies.
Pink. Yeah.
And this year, Congress is bringing in 1 million legal immigrants.
Bringing in.
And this year, according to the United Nations, these countries are expected to add another 80 million people.
What? Oh no.
And next year, you can be quite sure that Congress unless stopped by the American voters.
Entire auditorium will be gumballs. They start falling from the ceilings. Release the gumballs.
Just exponential gumballs. Yeah.
Oh my God, that would have been so much better showmanship. Like he should have done that.
Oh my God. But I would just turn this on him and be like, well, it seems like the one gumball either way is making no fucking difference. Like, what? Okay. There's a bunch over there. There's going to be some over here. By your logic, like, that's irrelevant. Like, you've pointed out why your argument is irrelevant, and we should actually look at, do we want to help people? Do we want diversity in our country or not? Like, that's what we should look at, and the answer is yes. Because, like, if it's this much of an overpopulation problem in his eyes, then what does it matter anyway? Like, that's already going to... You're not going to fix world poverty in his eyes anyway, because of all this, the new pink gumballs. The pink gumballs, they're the poor ones.
The pink people are still having kids.
Yeah. Stupid.
Bring in another 1 million immigrants. And these countries, unfortunately, will be adding...
Oh, no.
Oh, they had the camera shot ready. Hold on.
Nations.
I got.
We could take
We had also the audience reaction there.
We switched to a quick underneath camera shot.
These countries, unfortunately, will be adding...
There's no camera there now.
Yeah.
Where's the camera? So that means they set that shot up specifically to do that. Hold on, everybody. Wait. Hold on your murmurs. We got to do this again. We'll set up the under gumball action shot under table. They must have done that after, like another. Can we do another take of the gumballs coming out?
Another 80 million people.
There's 3D glasses version.
Impoverished nations. We
Oh
could take
my
5
God.
million a year.
No!
But we'd never get ahead of what's happening in these countries. Not in this country.
I love their faces so much.
Immigration
Guy like actually
never
barfing.
be an effective or significant way to deal with the suffering people of the world. They have to be helped.
I don't give a shit about the
where
suffering people.
they live.
Exactly.
99%
They have to be helped
of them
where they live, but they're going to have to bootstrap it because we shouldn't help them.
To rich country. There's no hope for that.
In the future,
they
Donald
have to
Trump
bloom
will
where they're
destroy
planted.
all of it anyway.
The
so
only
there you go.
place that 99.9% of these people can be helped is where they live.
Really?
Let's
How?
help them there.
Oh, okay. What do you want to do?
Nope. And
Yeah.
let's help them there. ...
So crazy.
Imagine assembling a hired audience of people to clap for that. Setting up all the gumballs. Whoever the gumball guy was gonna be like, I don't feel like that was worth it. Like, you had me fucking get all those gumballs.
I went to
Have
every
you
store in
heard
town.
of a slide projector? Just say, like,
Also, like, theoretically, did they, like, count them out to be accurate within
No,
their
I wanted
gumball
to point out
containers,
that
or did
the-
they weigh it?
yeah, I wanted to point out the size. Like, let's compare on a map. Like, is this really
Also,
the
you're
size
really
difference
good.
of
Yeah.
the U.S. to like the rest of the
Oh,
country?
I know. No, definitely not. But you've always been super good at like guessing the number of whatever's
Should we
in a
do guess the
container.
gumballs?
And
Yeah.
like, and I want to know is his accounting accurate based on your special skill?
That looks about like 5 billion to me. Yeah.
If anybody wants to count
that
them,
would
we can-
require me listening to whatever the fuck he said. And I don't know. Seems like a lot. I just love the little carafes on the top that he just needed a little
the
extra.
bonus cylinder.
Like, what?
Yeah.
What was the function of that? Would it have killed your video if you didn't have that little top sidecar of gumballs for Africa? Like,
Yeah,
would
just
it
for
have killed
Africa.
just lose it. Just showmanship wise. Just lose it. You don't need it. Cut it. Cut. Gone.
And
Yeah.
Oh my God.
in
This
my
is
head,
so stupid.
they went to every gumball store, every candy store in town, and wherever this was shot. And then at the end, he's like, "We just got pink ones. Can we just use the pink ones now?" That's all I could find. I like that. But this was also
because it's babies. Is that why he's doing?
It's just
I don't
girl
know.
babies, then I guess.
Just all they had left, gumball wise.
Girl babies.
But yeah, this is before TED Talks. I have to say this is pretty innovative.
Yeah.
Like to just have a VHS that you can send out. So he, this guy invented the TED Talk.
Jesus.
Kind of.
Crazy.
This is so stupid.
Yeah.
And you're saying this pile of crap is influential in our world, in our country?
Oh,
A lot of people have seen it.
yeah. I mean, like they're credited with changing like Congress's mind on some immigration policy, like right after this video came out, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
This-
they had their followers just call their Congress people over
Call
and
your
over
local
and over
gumball-
again.
no.
Yeah, to talk about gumballs, basically, and be like, "Have you seen the gumball video?"
And NumbersUSA still is extremely influential, and they
Yeah.
still like.
Hi, Newt
have a lot of viewers.
Gingrich. Are you guys letting gumballs in?
I just saw
Please
some gumbals
stop.
hit the floor.
Yeah.
We got to do something now.
The gumballs hit the floor. Oh my God. Well, we've gone way over. We're 70 minutes. This is a lot of fun. I really like this. Let's keep doing this. Hey, same time next week, everybody. You want to come back and do it?
See you then.
Let's find more gumball related food in curious storage containers related videos. There got to be at least 1 to 2 more. We'll see.
Believe it or not, there's an endless supply of things to which we can respond to. Vapid things to respond to. Here we go. We're not doing the vapid response.
My response will be vapid, but it's your job. I didn't even introduce, for anyone who doesn't know the show, Matt Cameron's the actual lawyer, everybody. I'm just a joker, and Lydia's my beautiful, smart wife. So that's our role.
That's the only thing I am, yeah.
Somebody cut that in the beginning. No, there's no editing. I'm not editing. It's 70 minutes. I'm not editing, guys. I'm not doing it. I'm not ruining my wrists and back and shoulders. No, this was a lot of fun. I can't wait to do more. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks, patrons, for making the show happen.
Yeah.
Tune into Opening Arguments, everybody. And hey, we'll see you next week.
And before you sign off, I just want to say happy birthday, Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
July 30th.
I hope you got me some gumballs.
Yeah, a lot. They're going to be spilling out of our house. It's just going to be full of gumballs. And then I'll be the guy in the back going.
Yeah. It's like when the Hindenburg. Oh, the humanity. Okay,
I'm going to get a milkshake.
I don't know how to get out. Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to get out, yeah.
Yeah. It's easier when I know I'm editing. I just cut it. I'll just stop.